Hey YouTube, I hope this video finds you well. If you feel like the weight of this world is really becoming a burden on your shoulders, this is the video for you to just slow down and rest and refill your soul. So come along with me while I just organize my kitchen and put all my dishes away. I'm going to fold some laundry and wipe down my dining room table and run the vacuum. This is just a gentle reset for my family as we have had a really tough week over here, and I have found that it is just best to take things really slow right now. Matthew 11:28 through 30 says, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden. I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." I also have this verse on the wall in my kitchen, and it says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." And it just sticks out to me so much because I have felt such a burden this week. Just like mentally, I feel like I have had a spiritual attack on my mind. I have been talking so negatively towards myself, telling myself that I am a failure, that I'm not enough, and have let all of these lies just consume me. And the Lord just laid this verse on my mind that He wants me to take all of my burdens to Him because He is gentle and lowly in heart, and He will give my soul rest. And it just brings me so much peace when I really sit down and just think about that the Lord loves me so much that He wants everything from me. He doesn't want just the good, He wants the bad too. He came to save the sinners, the sick, and the broken. If you're new here, hi, my name's Nissa, and I make videos about motherhood and homemaking. Recently, I have been opening up more to my YouTube community just about the refining process of motherhood and how the Lord is using that in my own life. I am a sinner saved by grace, and I fail every single day, but thankfully I am forgiven by the Lord, and His mercies are new every morning. Which is something that I take so much peace in, is that every morning I literally have a fresh start. I have a fresh start. When I lay my head down at night, I get to tell myself that if I have the blessing to open my eyes in the morning, I get to start over. If you are also struggling, just know that you can go to the Lord. He is waiting for you with open arms. He's ready for you to turn to Him, and He will give you peace and the rest that you greatly long for. I'll be honest, I was never prepared for motherhood. My husband and I unexpectedly got pregnant when we were both 20 years old. We had our son when we were both 21, and it just was a very rushed process. We got married, we bought a house, and we had our son 3 days after moving in. I also just wanted to share that today is February 25th when I was filming this video, and I wanted to share what my little devotional on my counter said. It says, "Are you suffering today? Turn to Jesus. He is a very present help in time of need and the one who has suffered in every way that a human being can suffer." And then the verse is Hebrews 4:15. "For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet was without sin." This verse really just felt perfect for this day because it says how our high priest is able to sympathize with our weaknesses, and I am so weak. I really needed the Lord to hear me on this day and to give me the strength that I needed. But back into what else is going on in this video, I had my son help me get his laundry. That's one of his chores, is that he has to bring his laundry down and I will wash it for him and put it away. He's not old enough yet, in my opinion, to be washing it and putting it away himself. But moving back into what I was saying before I shared that devotional verse, then my husband and I had another son 17 months after my first son was born. And then 17 months later, we had our daughter. So all three of my kids are 17 months apart, which is just wild that my body was literally on a little clock like that. I think it's amazing, but it also was something that I was not prepared for. I was never prepared to have 3 under 3. I was not prepared to be having kids so young. I had all 3 of my kids by the time I was 24. And you might be thinking, Nissa, do you live under a rock? You know how the birds and the bees work. Yes, I do. But I also have PCOS, and I've never had a regular period So I have always had a very hard time understanding when I'm ovulating and when my period is going to come. It normally has like a 10-day variance. And I also have had cancer. And when I finished chemotherapy, they told me that I would probably have a very difficult time having children and that I couldn't go on birth control ever because I had blood clots. And it just kind of felt like, okay, how am I supposed to do natural family planning? How am I supposed to be on birth control? Like, what is the best option? And I also have a latex allergy, so that kind of ruled out the other guy. And it just kind of felt like, you know what, like this is totally like the Lord's timing. Everything is just in the Lord's hands, like when we are going to have children. And it just felt like one of those things like I did not have control over. And my husband and I both realized after baby number 2 that that was something we just had to surrender over to the Lord, that when we were going to have children was ultimately in his hands. And I'll be honest, that was a lot easier for my husband to wrap his brain around than it was for me. I struggled a lot with resentment towards the Lord, resentment towards my husband, resentment towards my circumstances. I ended up having to quit my job. I went to school for 4 years for accounting, and I had an accounting job, and I had to leave it because we were having so many kids and we just couldn't afford childcare, and had to become a stay-at-home mom. And it took some time. I was really excited to do that at first, and then once I realized what that actually entailed, it took a lot of time for me to appreciate it and to be thankful for the position that the Lord had placed me in. On top of it, I felt really alone because I was 24 and I had 3 kids, and none of my other friends had kids. No one in my family had kids. It was just me. And I had gone from seeing people at work, seeing people at school every single day, having adult interactions, to being by myself most of the days with young children, and really just crying out to God for a community. And he thankfully did bring people into my life. He brought older mothers into my life that could help disciple me. And he really just like provided a fellowship for me. But it was really hard at first. And if you are in that position, I just highly encourage you to pray about it. Pray about it whenever you think about it, in the car, right now, just before you lay your head down at night. Pray for community and pray for fellowship, because the Lord will answer your prayers. He hears you. He knows the desires of our hearts, and he wants to give them to us. He wants to give them to us. Story that just it's about me, but it encourages me so much every single time I go into my living room. We really needed a brand new couch. We just could not afford one though. I had been shopping around for close to 6 months, and every single sectional that I looked at was way too expensive, and we just could not swing it. And I walked outside one day, and my neighbor down the street had a sectional in front of his house on the corner. And I walked down and I said, "Hey, are you throwing this out?" And he said, "Yeah, it's only 2 years old, but we just didn't like it." And I said, "Oh, wow, can I have it?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course." And I was like, "My husband isn't home. Would you be able to like move it back over to your porch for when he gets back? We can carry it in." And he was like, "I'll take it in for you." He was like, "I have a couple of friends that are going to help me move the new couch in." He's like, "We can take this one over to your house now." Thankfully, I was only like a couple houses down from him. And that's what they did. They took my old couch out and they brought the new sectional in and they set it up for me. And my husband came home and he saw our couch on the curb and he probably thought I was crazy. Like, what is she up to now? And walked in and there was this new couch in our living room. And it's the couch that you see in my videos. We've had it for 4 or 5 years now, and we have used it very well. We've given it a lot of love. But every time I look at it, I think of that. Like, the Lord knew the desires of my heart. And no, a couch is not a need. It's not a necessity. Folding chairs work just as well to watch TV. But the Lord loved me enough. He gave me a couch. And I hope you don't take that as bragging at all. I really just do give all of the glory to the Lord when it comes to my home, because almost every single piece of furniture in it up until like the last year has been a gift to us. as a hand-me-down or trash picked, or I got it off Facebook Marketplace for really cheap. Like our dining room table, the table I got for $40 from Habitat for Humanity, and I refinished it myself. Our chairs were actually from my husband's cousin, and we also painted them to match the table. The piano was free off of Facebook Marketplace. Our hutch was a hand-me-down from family, and I painted that pink. I don't know, like I'm just sharing this because I'm like so thankful with how my house has come together. But a lot of the stuff here, like the Lord literally just like handed me. It just fell into my lap, and I'm so thankful for it. Like I feel like he has helped curate my style. He has helped like grow my creativity, and strengthen my skills. Like I've been able to become a better painter and just really look at colors a little bit better and say like, okay, like what can I do with this shape of furniture? And it's like a dark brown. How can I lighten it? How can I make it into something brand new that I'm going to love and that's going to like serve our family well? I also am really into thrifting, and if you are into thrifting too, I did post a thrifting video about a month ago on all of the decor that I got for my kitchen, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. But I love thrift shopping. It feels like I'm treasure hunting, and I'm getting like pieces that once served someone else and now they have a second life serving me, and it just feels like so special. And I can find things that have like so much character to them and so much design. I do love like modern style, how it's so clean and sleek looking. I do think that's really great for just having like a peaceful mind and a serene home. But I also love like the character and the curves and the design and the detail that is just in like older furniture and older decor pieces. If you're wondering what's going on with this corner here full of boxes and stuff, this has kind of been our dumping zone for the last couple of weeks. I've really been avoiding just going through all this stuff. We had a birthday party for my son when he turned 5. We took the the dehydrator from my in-laws because my husband wanted to make dried fruit, and I think we want to try making some beef jerky because we just bought half a cow and we have so much beef that we were thinking it might be nice to cut up some of the roast to have jerky with. And there's just some gifts here for my son from his birthday party that I haven't really like given him yet. Like I don't know if anyone else does this, but we just had Christmas and then we gave him gifts for his birthday and he got gifts from other people. It just felt like a lot of toys all at once. So I set some aside to kind of give him throughout the next few weeks to spread it out a little bit. But yeah, it just made sense to me. And this box is just trash. And then the Pampers box is what I'm using to collect donations right now. I feel like I always have things that I'm decluttering. I am a minimalist at heart. I get very overwhelmed by just stuff and clutter so easily. Our dining room closet is a complete disaster, and I want to go through that and just organize it and really just be like tough with myself on what we actually use and what we don't use. And yeah. But now I'm just going ahead and vacuuming everything up. I just recently put these peel and stick tiles down in our kitchen, and I love them so much. They have like become my favorite part of the kitchen, and I feel like made the kitchen look complete. We just remodeled our kitchen this past year, and we used to have these old tile floors underneath of it that I don't know, just thought were in a really weird pattern, and they were beige. They always look dirty. And I just love these checkered peel and stick tiles so much. I also did a video on how I installed them, so go ahead onto my channel and check that out if you're interested. And I just wanted to say, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot that you stuck around. I hope that you found some encouragement here and some peace, and that you feel like you can go to the Lord with all of the things that are just on your heart and that are weighing you down. He is waiting for you, like I said, with open arms, and He's ready to receive whatever it is that you want to cast onto Him.